Yo, riding around on my side of town. I had the coat, I had the vows, I had the slabs, I made them smile. I sold the bags, I made them proud. Smoking loud on my Italian towel. Way I style is kinda foul. I'm with the wolves, don't make them howl. We ain't copping out, we'll go to trial. 40 cal and an ounce of weed.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. I just want to make a quick little announcement. Some of the videos I've been making recently have had images missing or photos missing when I insert them into the video. And then with the last video I did, a top 10 list, there was 3 minutes of dead air time at the end of the video. The video was finished, so you guys didn't miss anything. But the problem has been, I recently updated my computer, my Mac, to the newest version of, I forget what this one's called, the newest Mac operating system. But regardless, I did update it to the newest one, and for whatever reason, the new version of iMovie has some real bugs that Apple hasn't worked out yet, which is really, I think it's called Mavericks. Hasn't the new version of the OS, I think it's called Mavericks. They haven't really fixed that yet. So sometimes images don't come through completely. The videos do very bizarre things when you transcode them sometimes and prepare them for upload. So I want to apologize for that. I hope it's something that Apple works on quickly, because it's really annoying. I take great pains in making my videos professional and editing them, and it's annoying for that to be fucked up. So very disappointed, but hopefully you guys will bear with me, and then as soon as there's a patch for iMovie, hopefully these issues won't continue to go on. Now today we're going to be looking at a doozy of a scent, and I really didn't expect to review this one. It's from the house of Roberto Cavalli, and it's called Oud Edition, and it's pretty much marketed as an oud version of a Cavalli female eau de parfum, simply titled Roberto Cavalli for Women. Not a scent that I had ever heard of or expected to buy, but sometimes fate steps into our journeys and intervenes. There's a TJ Maxx near my house, and normally I'll go once a week to see what they have. I've gotten some great fragrances there at great prices, stuff like Rocky Mountain Heat Wood, Eau de Cartier, Burberry Touch, Tommy Bahama, St. Bart's. The list goes on, and of course I've picked up some duds as well. So I was there a couple weeks ago and didn't see anything that I wanted. They were putting some stuff out, and the woman sort of knew me and showed me this one, and it wasn't priced yet. There was a retail sticker that had $170 on it, but this version was missing the bottom of the box, which we'll get into a little bit more when we go into presentation. But so I played up that it was missing the box, and I pulled my phone out and checked Fragrantica and Base Notes about this fragrance. Base Notes didn't have anything, but Fragrantica had a couple of solid reviews. One of them stated that this seemed more masculine than feminine. So I made a $40 or $50 offer, I don't exactly remember, and she sold it to me. I think it was $40. When I bought this, it was already in a plastic theft-proof case, so I had no way of knowing if the bottle was half gone. But I took a chance, and thankfully the bottle seems about 99% full. Before we talk about the fragrance, let's talk about the Cavalli house. For those of you who might not know, Roberto Cavalli is a luxury Italian house started by Roberto Cavalli. He was born in 1940 into an artistic family. His grandfather, Giuseppe Cavalli, very well-known painter in the 19th century, so Roberto became really interested in art, and more specifically textile printing. He developed a rather masterful technique of printing on leather and patching different materials together, and his pieces got the fashion world whipped into a frenzy. He participated in his first show in 1970, and in 1972 opened his first boutique in Saint-Tropez. And Brigitte Bardot and some other celebrities really helped to popularize his pieces. Now, moving forward to 1994, and Cavalli then sort of was going through a dry spell in the early 90s and the 80s. So he reinvigorated his brand by coming up with a new technique of sand-blasting denim, which completely blew up his casual wear line. I remember Cavalli jeans being sort of it fashion pieces, really across all styles, from hip-hop to runway to haute couture. His jeans were big market items, and they ran to as much as $600 and $700, and that was at a time when the most expensive jeans out there were diesel jeans. It wasn't like today when half of the pairs at Bloomingdale's or Saks are $250 and over. By the way, I get questions a lot about my favorite kinds of jeans. I love Trues and Rock and Republics, but I don't wear those much anymore. For me now, I usually either wear Zara or the Levi's vintage label, or Nudie. I think Nudie makes great jeans. And all things equal, I'd probably do Lanvin or Givenchy, but not at those prices. And yes, you're talking to a clown who back in the day bought Red Monkey jeans. If you don't know what those are, look them up. What can I say? I was a big Dipset fan. Now that denim expansion really put Cavalli back on the map. And he's got boutiques now in more than 50 countries. I believe the Madison Avenue boutique in NYC near Barney's is still open. And there's a Roberto Cavalli vodka, which I don't drink anymore, but even when I did, I never tried that one. I think the only celebrity vodkas I tried were Armadale and Ciroc. Vodka is supposed to be odorless and tasteless, so I think it's stupid to spend big money on it, although I know you want it to be as cold and smooth as possible. I could do an entirely different set of shows on wine and spirits, but that's for another life. The Cavalli line also includes menswear, loungewear, accessories, and of course, while we're here, fragrances. Now, the Cavalli fragrances are under the ITF umbrella and are made in conjunction with Coty. Coty has a huge profile, including houses like Jill Sander, Yope, Marc Jacobs, Calvin Klein, Chopard. You get the point. The first Roberto Cavalli fragrance debuted in 2002, and it was for women. And most bottles either have animal print, you can see there's a zebra one here, or a snake motif. There are over 20 fragrances in the catalog as of this video, and who's who of the fragrance world has worked on these fragrances. Olivier Poage, Nathalie Lorson, Olivier Cresp, Alberto Morales, Maurice Rossel, etc., etc. For me, I don't know much about Cavalli fragrances. I have one on my cheapie to buy list, and it's a fragrance called Just Blue that came out in 2006. But this is a flanker of the 2012 Cavalli Eau de Parfum for women. That's a fragrance that was primarily orange blossom and amber based, and it's got mixed reviews. You can find it on sites like FragranceNet for about $60 for a 75 ml. I've never smelled that, so for me this was a huge blind buy, and it turned out really well. So for purposes of this video, let's just call this fragrance Oud Edition. So Oud Edition was launched in conjunction with another oud scent from Cavalli called Tiger Oud, which is billed as unisex. This one is labeled as female. I think both are either exclusive to Europe and the Middle East, and I think it's possible Tiger Oud is just for the Middle East. The department store Harrods in London has this in stock as of this video. The 50 ml is priced about €100, or about 135 American dollars, and the 75 ml is about €130 or 170 American dollars. A few other spots do have this online, including the European Sephora site, but I have not found any US places stocking this, which makes me wonder how the fuck did it wind up at TJ Maxx. Louise Turner is the nose behind this scent. She did the original Eau de Parfum of this. Also done scents for Chloe, Chopard. She did Fahrenheit 32 for Dior, which I really like. She's also worked for 7 New York on the niche side of things, as well as Terry Mugler, Versace, Ferragamo. It's a 2013 release. Now, as far as your presentation goes, this box doesn't have a bottom, but it has a nice hard cardboard lining. Roberto Cavalli Oud Edition, just a lot of gold. Some ingredients on the back, and not much else. It's I wish I had the bottom, because it is a stand to put the fragrance. It really is a nice bottle. Roberto Cavalli, it's covered in gold. It has a sticker at the bottom. It's got a pretty nice cap here with that zebra motif, and the atomizer isn't great. It works somewhat well, but as Redolescence would say, it's definitely not the best in the game. So it's a really nice bottle, but a simple, I think, elegant presentation. Notes on this fragrance are leather, saffron, mandarin, honey, orange blossom, white flowers, vanilla, amber, and incense. Looking at these notes, you probably think, boy, those notes are pretty masculine minus the orange blossom and white flowers, and you'd be right. So what is this fragrance all about? Well, at the top, it's about gorgeous oud. Not stanky, my Mickers, barnyard shit coop oud, but also not clean Tom Ford oud wood oud. It's in the middle. It's a smooth and soft oud that to me is gentle enough for a woman, but also stronger enough for a man, like that secret deodorant or whatever the fuck. So you've got that oud, and it is beautiful, probably my favorite oud note that I've come across, mixed with bits of fresh mandarin orange and soft, supple leather. I think it's very unisex. It might lean a bit more feminine than masculine, but if Montal put this out, I don't think anyone would be surprised. So that opening lasts for about an hour or so, and then you get a bit of orange blossom and honey, but the oud is always there throughout the entire fragrance, which I absolutely love. As this dries down, the incense starts to poke its head out, and there's a period where that incense and leather and oud are all hanging out together. And at this point, this fragrance peaks. And it's a stunning fragrance at that point. My favorite oud fragrance at that point. For me to wear oud, the perfume has to do something really special to it. In Oud Wood, they cleaned up oud for dinner. They gave him a haircut and put a shirt and tie on him. With Jubilation 25, they mixed the oud with ingredients of a biblical quality with those incense and dried fruits. With Red Oud, they made oud into a gourmand fragrance. Those are the type of oud scents that I like. And what Turner has done with Cavalli oud is she took oud out for a night in the town. She dressed it up with honey and flowers. She put a leather jacket on it, a spray of Good Woman's vintage fragrance like Chanel No. 5, and that really worked well here. I think this is brilliant. It's got a bit of Jubilation 25 to it with the incense and oud. It's got a bit of Tabac Rouge to it with the honey. It's really well done. I would definitely pay retail for this fragrance. Now, where this falls a bit flat for me, guys, is in projection. Longevity is terrific, but where other high-end oud scents separate themselves from this one is in projection. This projects okay. It's not beast mode, but it does last really well, and you should get 8+ hours out of this. It is a fall and winter scent that could be pulled off on cool spring days and evenings, but I would not bring this out in the summertime. Definitely unisex. I think Cavalli made a big mistake not just labeling this as a unisex scent, because to me, while it leans a tad bit more feminine, it can work just as well for men. I don't know that I would wear this to work, but I would certainly wear it out on formal occasions. It could work as a date night scent or a special event scent. I think it's really elegant fragrance, and I could see European aristocracy wearing something like this. So where does this rate? Well, the limited availability is certainly upsetting, because I think this could be a really popular oud scent if it were to be introduced into the United States. It seems like designer houses really shy away from bringing their oud to the US, evidenced by this and of course Versace oud pour homme. I hope that changes in the future, but I'm not sure that it will. The price is the price, and I have to rate this off the $170 retail and not what I would be paying for it, but it's still a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Fails in just 2 areas, availability and longevity. It is a great, complex, and very original scent, but it doesn't leap off my skin, and it's not easy to get. I think the presentation is great. I think the scent is great, and I think that Cavalli and Turner absolutely nailed this scent. Check it out if you can. Anyway, guys, that is this week's episode of Maximilian Must Know. We will be back next week with 3, possibly 4 episodes. We're definitely going to be doing either a sample shopping or my grooming routine. We're definitely going to be doing my winter starting lineup, which I am thrilled to do that. We're definitely going to be doing another top 10 list. This weekend it is going to, or next week it's going to be my top 10 fragrances that I've sampled that I really like that I don't have a bottle of yet. And then we'll have another fragrance review for you guys next weekend. Another one I'm really excited about doing. I thank you all so much for watching. You know who I am. I'm Maximilian Heusler, and I must know.
Let it sound. 110th, 145th, 7th Ave, 8th Ave, Edge Code. Say Knick. Say Knick Terrace. I see y'all.